Figure 4 Radio.
Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Hello everybody, it's the Mastermind Ollie Spring, today joined by Sugar Dunkerton.
Hola.
Hey buddy.
I am chilling on a couch looking like a psychiatric patient.
You up
right
but you're
now.
comfy, right?
Oh, very. Like you see all the blankets and things of that nature.
You put my sofa over on social media more than I've seen like some of my friends put their friends over.
Top 5 sofa in the game, and I've slept on a lot of sofas.
I'll say that. I'm proud of that.
Bro, but it's the perfect ratio of like pillow to softness to like outstretchedness. You don't want it too wide, because if it's too wide, it doesn't lay correctly.
Yeah.
If it's too small, it jumbles you in. This is just the right length so that you can rest your feet. You don't get that weird tingly sensation in your legs when you wake up in the morning. It's got a nice little pillow ratio, so you can just, you can throw your arm up or you can just bring it back down. It's good. It's good. Plus, there's enough here so that if you roll over, you don't roll off.
That's true.
It's good.
Next time Alexander Hyde stays on the sofa, I'm sending you a picture. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, because he's tall as hell, so it probably don't work.
He has like 2 feet in the kitchen. He's got one arm out the door.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So you're over here. You're over in the UK. You're fucking killing it right now. If you don't mind me
I
saying.
wouldn't say like killing it, like justifiable. Plus, I hate that term. I can't stand.
Okay.
Killing. Like no, it's okay. It's okay. I want you to use it as much as you want. That's just a personal thing to me.
You're bossing it. You're owning it. You are.
I would prefer justifiably homiciding. You remember New Jack? He was like, I fought justifiable homicide. Like, I don't know. But like, yeah, shout out to New Jack, by the way. He's just awesome. But I'm doing well, but like, not to get all deep. Like, not even 5 minutes into it. That's what she said. But I'm a big believer in Chinese philosophy, right?
Uh-huh.
You ever heard of Taoism, like Lao Tzu?
I think so.
Okay.
I wouldn't know too much about it, but
So Taoism is like the study of like appreciation of just life around you, and sometimes what it is and what it is not, right? So one of my favorite proverbs that I like to pass on to people, especially like I remember having this conversation with like a trainee that we had over at the PCW Academy. I don't remember the flowery version of the quote that comes from the book, so I'll just break it down to brass tacks. Basically, you're told to do something great and then forget about it. So, the reason I love that quote, I know you've met those guys, right? That are like, they're the Al Bundys of the world. And when I say the Al Bundys of the world, it's like, I had 4 touchdowns in a single game back in like, Polk High back in 70-something. Okay, but you've been talking about that for the past 30, 40 years of your life. What else have you done?
Yeah. I definitely know people like that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that do something great and then they just sit on it and they use it as a reason why they never should do better or don't progress themselves, or hey, I've been to the mountaintop, I ain't got nothing to prove, or whatever it is. That's why I love that, because enjoy that moment of achievement for everything that it is in the moment. But then the next day you have to act like it ain't even a thing. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, it happened. So what's the next thing that's going to happen?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this. Like, I had an awesome trip in February. Cool. What's the next thing? I had an awesome 3 months here. Cool. What's the next thing?
You don't want to just be the guy that came over to England for a little while, and justifiably homicided it.
Yeah, justifiably.
And then went back and just sat on that forever.
Yeah, and it's like, I know there's bigger companies. I know there's other things to do. It's like I did well, and I feel like I gained a lot of traction, which is awesome. That's great. There's more to be done. And I recognize that, and I see that, and I don't want to be that type of person to just be like, yeah, and like I don't want to be that guy feeling himself so much. It's like, yeah, and for them companies that didn't use me, why didn't you use me? You just didn't.
Yeah.
But
so they didn't this time, why weren't they next time?
But the next,
give them a reason.
That's what I'm saying. And like, fortunately, there's already some companies that are noticing that, and they've already put me on for the November and December return.
So I saw an announcement. You were like, you were pretty excited about. There was a company that was bringing you in. Are you gonna if later on down this podcast I ask you, would you be okay to tell me? Or
I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Okay, no, I won't ask.
But like, let me put it this way. I'll tell you who it's not. It's not Progress. It's not Progress. Like, I've had 4 or 5 people tweet me about it. I promise you, if Progress puts me on, I'm shouting from the highest mountaintop. It's like Lion King.
Right.
I'm gonna go up to the highest mountain I can get to with a Progress T-shirt and just be like, and just let everybody know. Even if it's a dark match, I don't care.
In fact, 5 weeks tomorrow, I'm going to be in Wembley watching Progress. My first ever Progress show.
I know that's a big deal for them being in Wembley as far as it goes. Now,
Wembley's a big place.
Let me make sure I have this right. Am I thinking of the same Wembley where, or am I wrong? Was it Wembley that SummerSlam '92 was out of?
Yes. So we have.
There's a stadium and an arena.
We have stadium and an arena. They're literally next door to each other.
Okay.
So yeah, SummerSlam '92 was the stadium. NXT Takeover London was the arena.
Yeah.
I've been to both. They're both. Yeah, we're like if WWE ever come over here, it's going to have to be Wembley. Like, there's very few places I think they could really put on a show like outside. Whereas Wembley Arena is. I've been there a ton of times to see a ton of bands. It's a big deal. It's a big place, but it's not. Yeah, it's not stadium size, but it's a big arena.
But both are still a big deal at the end of the day. It's just like how,
like, just being able to say we did Wembley, like just that one word of Wembley is a big deal.
Because, like, for instance, when we're talking about sacred places in wrestling, I've done Korakuen, in Japan. And then I've done the ECW arena when it was the ECW arena.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like...
I mean, is there anything special about the ECW arena? Because to me, like, when you see it on camera, it looks just like another, like, just another... I don't want to be like, it's just another bingo hall. But, like, it doesn't look special. Like, Korakuen Hall has that kind of special vibe about it. Whereas the ECW arena on tape always just looked like a room with a ring in it. Is that fair? Is that fair to say? Am I being...
Yes, but at the same time, it's like... There's just a certain spirit and history that comes with performing in that building. And even though some people look at it, it doesn't look special on camera. And
we're talking the hall, not the actual one with like the balconies, and because that one looks fucking cool.
That's Hammerstein.
That's where they did One Night Only.
Hammerstein Ballroom. That's in New York City.
Got you.
But
just a place in Philly that's just like. I say it just doesn't look special, but I guess when you're there, you kind of know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And it's like everybody wants to turn it up just that little bit because, you know, it's the history of what's been there.
Yeah.
It's just like how some people would say Full Sail don't look like a big deal. But, like, to be in Full Sail, the energy that they have in NXT, it's like, you know, when you come through Full Sail, it's about to be on. Like,
have you ever been to Full Sail?
I have not.
Have you ever been to the PC?
No, but obviously, if I do my first visit to either of the two, you know what it's about. I'm not trying to go on a ticket.
Yeah.
Well, I would like a plane ticket to those places, but you know, obviously, you want to be
invited rather than shout out together.
Absolutely.
One thing I always like to do on these podcasts, and this would be kind of a fun one with you, I always like to ask people how they first got into wrestling, as in they first discovered it. Because over here, like, I'll hold my hands up, 90% of people I interview, it's kind of the same story. Their parents just plonked them down in front of one of 2 channels that we had that had wrestling on.
Sure.
But I'm guessing it's going to be a bit different for you, obviously, being from... I almost said it wrong then. I almost said North Carolina. It's Georgia.
Georgia, most definitely.
You Georgia born and raised?
Yes.
Cool.
I was born in Columbus. I'm a military brat, so I got moved around a lot, but we always found our way back to Georgia.
Fair.
I
was just going to say, so basically, day one, you've never seen wrestling. All of a sudden, something happens. And then day 2, you're now aware of this crazy thing that happened. Like, can you remember when like, what it was like when you first discovered it?
Dude, my earliest memory is wrestling. Like I said, military parents. So, there was a huge collection of just VHS tapes, and a lot of them were recorded pay-per-views and whatnot of like AFN re-airings of like Survivor Series and NWA wrestling and Royal Rumble and all this other stuff like that. So The show that I could just remember off top was WrestleMania 5, which was Hogan and Savage in the main event.
Yeah.
And I watched that so many times, I probably could emulate like whole sequences from it and whatnot.
Nice.
And of course, you got to do the Hogan celebration at the end.
Yeah.
Now, of course, as a kid, you know, it's all about Hogan, but when you grow up, you realize, you know, Macho Man was kind of way cooler than Hogan.
Yeah.
When it was all said and done, but it is what it is. But that was one of my earliest memories, and I used to just tear through those tapes all the time. Those tapes were like really cool too, because
so were they just lying around? Was it like, were they from family or friends? Or?
No, they were definitely like tapes that Dad purposely recorded at the time.
Was your dad like the fan, or was he just like?
The family were fans. I'm sure he was the bigger fan.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my dad wasn't around when I was growing up. Just mom kept the tapes.
Okay.
So like, yeah. So if anything, you know,
it's
like
entertaining for the kids. I guess you put that on and they're going to be transfixed.
Yeah, and like you know, I was just thrown by that. Between cartoons and that, it was just crazy to me, like being able to go ahead and just have it. And I just knew, especially at a very young age like that I didn't know how I was going to get involved with it. I just knew it would happen.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize it would be this deep and as cool as it's been. Like, it's been a hell of a life so far with it in there, and thankful for that.
Cool. So when did you then? Because this is the thing that get like I kind of got lent a VHS tape when I was like kind of like young, kind of school age.
Sure.
At no point did I ever think, I want to do this. I thought it was cool as hell. I never thought like, I want to get in the ring and do that. I had no concept that there was anything like that over here, let alone, that I could potentially do. So what point did you kind of go, I want to do this, and like actually look into doing it seriously?
I knew I wanted to do it at like 10 or 11.
Wow.
Mom always thought it was just like, oh, you're just saying that, like you'll grow into something else.
It's a phase.
And then I kept getting older and older and older, and I kept getting more serious and serious and serious, and letting her know, like, hey, there's training schools, there's independent wrestling. That's when I started reading more like Bill Apter mags and finding out like, oh, there's more wrestling than what's on TV.
Yeah.
And like I started finding out about all the independent companies and whatnot. So I'm like, maybe this is possible to actually do.
Okay.
So eventually, as I got older and she started realizing that I was being like deadly serious about this, I think she was just like not having it. Like she was just like, you need to, she used to always tell me, go to college first.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if her reasoning to tell me to go to college was by the time I finished college, I'd be like 22 or 23, so maybe I wouldn't be interested by that point. I would have dived into something else.
Yeah.
But as it just so happened, me being the kind of person that I am, at 17 years old, I saw a commercial for a wrestling school that was like 15 minutes away from where I stayed.
Cool.
But you had to have watched like the D-list WWE shows. So like at the time they had just got jacked on like our local network. So it's like, the ratings weren't even all that good for it. So it only lasted 4 weeks.
Okay.
So it just so happened I caught it at the time when all that was going on. And then that's when it all started or whatnot. I'm not proud of how I broke into the business though, because
why
Mom had a bank account that she was saving for like college money, and somehow I found a way to be able to get into it.
Okay.
So I took that money to pay for tuition to go to the wrestling school.
Shit.
And then at the time I was actually like wrestling in high school as well too. I had to quit eventually.
And when you say wrestling in high school, do you mean like
mat wrestling?
Yeah, so like the classic, the one that South Park takes a piss out of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
because that's like a non-thing over here. That's not even.
I've been told, which trips me out because y'all are like highly regarded as such big grapplers.
True.
And like y'all, it's not even a thing over there. So I was like, wow. So, but yeah, I had to make a choice between dedicating the time for that or for, as they put it at the time, fake wrestling. So I went ahead and I dived headfirst into fake wrestling, and I got my ass handed to me a bunch of times at school for being that guy, for turning my back on it. And then when Mom found out that I took the money and I had been lying about, I wasn't lying technically. I was going to wrestling. It just wasn't the wrestling she thought it was.
Yeah.
But regardless, she was very not pleased with it. There was some not talking to me for a while.
Which is, I guess, understandable.
And then she did let me know. She was like, "Hey, I'll tell you what. The moment that your grades go down in school, she was like, you know, like the moment you get like a passing grade, like a not passing grade or whatever it is, she's like, I'm gonna yank you out of wrestling. You'll never do that again." So fortunately, I graduated with. Fortunately, I kept graduating with honors, and then I still wrestled even in college, and I graduated with honors again.
Nice. So because college for you guys is like university over here, right? That's like
but okay, it's like it, except we pay ungodly amounts of money.
Yeah.
Unless you have a scholarship or like you have a plan or like you have incriminating photos. Fortunately, I was very frugal about how I did my money and only took what I needed for the time that I was in.
Yeah.
So everything was cool and whatnot. But yeah, like y'all have a much better system. Even though y'all are starting to charge for it now.
Oh yeah.
At least it's a reasonable amount.
Well, I guess we.
When you went from free to like maybe 5,000 pounds.
Okay, fair.
Then I could even see 5,000 pounds.
See, I think now, like when I went through uni, it was about that for the whole thing. Whereas I want to say it's a year after my little brother, which was like 3 years after I did it. That went up to like £5 per year, so it like trebled the amount of cost for it. So it's like 15k just to get through it, and I think that was just tuition. I think that wasn't even including things like your rent for the year for your but yeah, I think that well, I can't even claim to know what it is now, but it's fair. So what did you study?
Media communications. You probably wouldn't be surprised, but like media communications and whatnot. So a lot of speech, a lot of graphic design, a lot of computer tech. Like it was dealing with people and dealing with technology.
So actually, kind of you probably learned a lot of skills that are easily transferable over to pro wrestling. You're talking, you make the posters. The promoters love you for that.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, you make yourself useful. Do you feel it's come in handy? Like you must do, right? Like you must
all the time. Between that and then practical work experience, like all I'm doing is just applying work-based knowledge to like my art. And I'm finding a way for it to meet the middle. The other thing too is you also get used to, even though they say there's no politics in wrestling, there's politics in wrestling.
Who the fuck says there's no politics?
There's people who try to.
Are they like? Don't get me wrong. Like I don't involve myself in it, but like I'm not naive enough to think there's no politics.
It's like
that's naive.
It's like the people that say like, "Oh, is racism even a thing anymore?" Or like little stuff like that. Yeah, it's still a thing.
Okay.
Like it may not be as loud in some cases, but yeah it's still a thing.
Like, just because you don't see it every day doesn't mean someone else does. Like
bingo.
Yeah.
Or like oh, it's gender issues or all this other stuff. That's not even a thing anymore in 2000. Yeah, it is. It's just not affecting you the way like you're doing it. So it is what it is. But once you learn how to deal with politics in a business society, because there's politics in suit and tie world too.
Oh yeah.
So like once you learn how to deal with that, you're completely immune. Not immune, but you're used to it, or it's like you're not fazed by it in wrestling.
It doesn't stop you from doing what you got to do.
Yeah.
So obviously so you get out of college. You get your you say you pass with honors. That's a good run, right?
I had to keep her off my back.
Yeah. So was it more for her for you or than for you?
A little bit of all of it, yeah.
So I guess it kind of I guess my parents never really kind of rode me that hard. I guess so like maybe if they did, I'd have done better grades. Who knows? But it's cool. Like you
would have got better grades with your free college. It must be freaking nice. Like, hey, if I mess up, I can just go back.
I got my student loan letter through the other day, and I am still like it's still 12k. I graduated 10 years ago, and it's gone up. It hasn't like my repayments that come out of my paycheck. I guess how it works over here. You kind of the more you earn, the more you pay back to the student loan company.
Yeah.
I pay something like £8 a month.
Okay.
To the student loan company when my interest per month is like 30.
So yeah, man, you ain't getting nowhere.
My student loan has gone up by 300 quid. It's like I haven't paid anything off. I've increased it by but to me, I look at that like I'm never paying it off. And I think it gets to like 20 years, and they're like, you know what? We'll just call it quits. Like we'll call it evens.
Oh, so you're trying to wait them out?
Well, that's it. I'm not going to pay it off, am I? So you know, I think the whole point is like they think that they're going to educate you. You're then going to go out into the world in a high-paying job, and you can then pay it off in a few years. Whereas I've gone out. I've left it. I've gone into the world into a crummy paying job. and haven't started paying off. And it was only a couple of years ago that I ticked over the pay threshold to actually start paying it off. But like, as I say, it's like a drop in the ocean right now. So I don't worry about it.
I was about to say they got it completely wrong about you, huh?
Is it good or in a good way or a bad way?
like he's gonna go out. He's gonna be a productive member of society. Meanwhile, doing podcasts for no money.
Yeah. It's true. Somebody sponsor us. I'm completely off track now. Yeah. How do you even get sponsorship, man? I don't even know. So you get out of college. Are you kind of still like rest? How often are you resting at this point?
I would pretty much like. No, hold on. I'll take that back. Around that time, I was lucky to get like maybe 3 matches in a month, maybe 4.
All right.
And then it definitely started getting busier and busier as I went along.
So this was all in Georgia.
That time.
And obviously you get out of college. So we spoke about this before in car rides. So you were working up until a couple of years ago now. Am I right thinking that? Was it?
When you're saying working, you mean
as in you said your kind of real world
regular job.
Your shoot job and yeah. So how long were you kind of? I guess like being were you weekend? Is that a thing? Being a weekend warrior, or
I was an everything warrior because like at my busiest, I was going to college while still holding down a job at Starbucks, while still taking wrestling bookings, and then at my second busiest, I was managing a cell phone store while also doing this every weekend. And like it just got to the point where I was getting stressed out. I was burning the candle at both ends. I was doing these wild drives where it's like I'll do 12 to 13 hours to wrestle at this place just so I can turn back around. I do the same, turn back around, do the 12 to 13 hours back, work for 8 hours, barely get any sleep, and then come back and do it all over again, stuff like that.
It's kind of how I feel at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting great, but at the same time, like I definitely wouldn't change. Like I keep telling people, and they think I'm moaning, but it's more the fact that like I'm not moaning, but at the same time, I wouldn't change it for the world at the same time because I know we're getting places right now.
Okay.
How long did you do that kind of cycle of driving all those hours dude. to do the shit? How like
at least like 3 or 4, maybe 5.
Wow. So what? Because for me, I know exactly when I kind of decided I'm going to start taking shit more seriously for me, because like as again I was doing like 2 or 3 shows a month for a good 18 months, 2 years. I could if someone was podcasting me, I would tell them the full story of how I turned 30, had that kind of like not midlife crisis but a realization of like right, I either start taking shit seriously or I admit that I'm going to be one of those guys that always praise on, oh yeah man, like 10 years ago I used to be a musician, I did this open mic once, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like I decided I didn't want to be that guy.
Thank God. Yeah.
When what was the process for you going, you know what, fuck this, I'm not going to work anymore, I'm gonna take the plunge?
I just remember coming back from a show and just being like completely wiped, and like here was the thing. There were so many shows that I missed out of sometimes because like, oh, you got to be to work to do this or you got to be there to do that. Had everything gone along to the point where I had like, managed to get my own store instead of being assistant manager, I would have been, my whole life course would have changed because I would have got it and then probably would have quickly realized I couldn't do both.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I probably would have quietly faded out, or like I would have been very sparing about which shows I took. But I remember a few times where I sacrificed the booking, trying to do right. And I remember there were like during that quest to try to get my own store, there were like, for about 2 or 3 months, I was a good boy. I wasn't, calling out of work or being awkward about all that stuff and whatnot, because I was really trying to get this done. And then I got hit with the politics of business, where they always want outside the box ideas until, it's time to reward those outside the box ideas and people. And I just was getting so burnt out and stressed out, and it was one of those cases where the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze, and I had to make a choice for myself. It's like, okay, you can keep, if you're gonna keep being miserable, Do you want to be miserable for something that you're good at, or do you want to be miserable for something that you're good at and you love? So it was a big risk. I was back and forth about it a bunch of times. I remember the day I quit, I slept for like 2 days straight so that I could just get right again, because I had just remember feeling so tired. And then I panicked. I panicked hard. Like, I was like, you dumb, like, can we cuss on this?
Yeah, fuck it.
I was like, you dumb motherfucker. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You completely killed any safety net you got. You're gonna fall on your fucking face, yada yada, everything to that effect. And yeah, there were some stumbles, but like, then there have been some great triumphs like this that I wouldn't have been able to do had I kept holding on to the safety net.
So was it a case that, because when you kind of went full time with wrestling, was it at the point where you looked at the money you were bringing in and was like, if I do this more, I'm going to survive? Or was it like, was it literally just jumping? Because I've spoken to a few people, and they kind of, the only reason they went full time was that they realised that if they keep up the level of bookings and potentially get like some like wrestling related work on the side, whether it's graphic design or video editing, they were like, I can earn just as much as long as I keep doing this many bookings.
See, there you go. It's the if factor.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's like if you got a regular job,
yeah.
Even if you just show up, even if you're not the best at what's going on, if you do just enough to get by, at least you can guarantee that check every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This is like, if I do this,
if you can get the booking,
that's the hardest bit of this whole thing.
If the promoters don't drop you,
if I don't get hurt, if something doesn't happen with my car, all this other stuff like that. But like, you can't win unless you play.
True, but did you kind of realise that as long as all the ifs were met, you'd be fine, or was it a big unknown of like, I need to get this many more bookings than I already have
if the ifs are met?
Yeah,
that's what it was. And it's like, and the way I figured it, it's like the bookings would come anyway, because now I have more time. I don't have to tell people no.
True.
So I could be out there and exploring a little bit more, or I don't have to turn right back around, so that means I could take other things while I'm out there, etc., etc. So, unfortunately, knock on wood, everything's been okay.
Yeah.
So no complaint.
So let's have a little look over your career. So, do you mind asking how many years you've been in now? Like, do you know off the top of your head that you've been doing this?
Probably about 13. When it's all said and done. But if we're talking about actual good productive years, more like 9.
Okay, so it's like you've been doing this a while then.
Yeah, because my training wasn't exactly like the greatest in the world.
No.
So I had to unlearn a lot of things on the road and whatnot. Yeah.
So at what point did I'm trying to think, did UK come first, or did like I don't want to always I'm kind of curious about the whole Impact thing. Which happened first to you? Was it UK or was it Impact?
It was Impact.
Okay. So I see on a lot of posters over here, like Impact Star, the promoters are very quick to throw those logos out there. At time of recording, how many Impact matches have you had?
Grand total of 2, both via Explosion, and then I've had a number of numerous like guest spots or like little segments that they've had on their YouTube.
Yep.
I'm in a weird, like, I don't mind saying it, like, I'm in a weird state of flux, because it's like I'm kind of like one of those non-contracted guys that they keep an eye on.
Yeah.
They'll use me for stuff, but it's like, like, and I repeat, I am non-contracted. This means, should you wish to offer me one, let's discuss it. It's just one of those things where it's like, they keep tabs, I'm on the radar. Either something's going to happen or it's not going to happen. Like, when I go back, I plan to hover around and see what's happening or what's not happening. But we're in a really crazy time where there's a lot of different choices, a lot of different contracts that you can get or whatnot. So, I appreciate the exposure that they've given me.
Of course.
But yeah, it's just...
Does it blow? Because so in my eyes, no offense,
okay,
I like two matches on Explosion. It's a bit. It's they kind of would it? I don't. No offense again, but are the promoters making a mountain out of a molehill?
So
is that how it feels?
So here's the deal with that. Okay, I've seen instances. I won't name names, but they know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
I've seen instances of guys claimed to be NXT superstar after getting squashed, like completely squashed on episodes of NXT.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at least I had competitive showings.
True.
On the 2 matches that I had.
Yeah.
And I've shown up on long form interviews.
I'm not discounting what you.
No.
To me,
I'm just saying if we're doing it,
it's a bit weird, isn't it?
I wouldn't say I would like if I were putting me on a flyer, I would put me as seen on.
Yeah.
Not Impact Superstar because I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I'm there.
That's the thing. Like, I'm not writing it off, but to me, it's like when I found out that because everyone knows that listens to me regularly. I've always been a TNA guy up until maybe about a year ago.
Yep.
So like I've always been the one fighting their corner, even when shit got really bad. I was like, no, TNA is still going to do right. They're going to get back on track. Just you wait.
And when it was bad, it was bad.
It was real bad.
Yeah.
So I've always been like the TNA guy. So I never want to like discount anything they've ever done. But to me, it is almost like you almost haven't had a chance to be a star yet. So it's kind of made me laugh.
It's funny you say that.
When you told
almost haven't had the chance.
Yeah.
Haven't had the chance. Not hitting at anything, but it's like, hey,
who's actually running TNA these? Because I don't even know who's in. Because like, so I dropped out basically when they were pushing Bound for Glory last year. I saw one promotional video, and that was a whole lot of like stock clips from London, showing you a black cab, showing you Big Ben, showing you London Eye, and then like Bound for Glory with the font over the Union Jack flag. I was like, holy shit, they're bringing Bound for Glory over. What I didn't realise was they'd also done one of these for Japan, for Canada, for America. And I was like, oh, so they're basically trying to get people talking. And that kind of felt like a slap in the face. I'm like, you know what, fuck you. You tease me, you go put it on in Canada.
How dare you?
Fuck you guys, I'm leaving now. I'm out.
Because you're like the biggest fan.
Honestly, I didn't know anybody else that was as big a fan as I was at this time. Like, I was 100% TNA, 0% WWE for so long. Like I didn't
zero, not even.
I'll be honest. The thing that dragged me,
WWE?
the thing that dragged me back in was the Rock Cena feud.
Okay.
Like when that started getting hot, I then started kind of
the first one or the second one.
The first one. Like when they had like the year-long promo.
The build, yeah.
That was when kind of like One Eye started drifting over. And then for a while, and then I did kind of juggle both. But I've never watched an episode of Raw or SmackDown ever. I've watched pretty much every pay-per-view they've done since the network came out. But I was still 100% TNA guy. So obviously when I see Sugar Dunkerton's coming over and I see the TNA, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should try and get back into it. And then I asked you, I was like, so what are you in Impact? Like, what's it like? What's going on? And you were like, yeah, I had this match with KM on Explosion. And I was kind of like, I was almost surprised. I was expecting to hear more, I guess, because like obviously, because I've been out of it now for.
I can tell you a whole bunch about what other people are doing and how it's going on back there, but it's like, like as far as my own personal career, it's like, they took a shot on me, everything was cool, we were just keeping up on stuff. Don Callis and Scott D'Amore.
If you want to tag them in this, then like we'll throw some acts out.
But Don Callis and Scott D'Amore running things, and to their credit, it's two people that know about wrestling.
Yeah,
and they're doing a hell of a job.
I guess Scott D'Amore's had his time in TNA, so he knows exactly what needs to be done and what works.
And he's got a good mind for running things and all that other stuff. Like he likes being in charge. You can tell he likes being in charge. But like it's like the two of them have really made the most of trying to make this work and to turn the ship around. So like I gotta give them credit where it's due. People like being around them. They're very approachable. All that other good stuff. So yeah.
So is it under the Anthem umbrella still?
Yes,
is that still the thing? Cool. And they're based in Canada, which is why there's the kind of the crossover, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I'm getting caught up on it. I have now seen Bound for Glory, which is good. Although I found out yesterday that my Skybox has wiped a load of my old TNA stuff because it got to 100% capacity, and I'm guessing it was like, well, we've got to get rid of some shit. Instead of just not recording, it decided to wipe all the stuff from December and January and February. So I've got there's a hole, but I think you said like if I jump back in around kind of like the time that that dude started having some creative control, Sammy Callahan.
Yeah.
You were like, start watching from there, and you kind of get the picture. So I'll be getting back on the horse for sure. I
mean, it's been good programming. It's been really good programming.
This is what I'm hearing. I think I kind of dropped out when it was seemed like there was like a new owner every month.
Yep.
Like all of a sudden this guy's take over. Now it's this, and we've got
Maybe Billy Corgan is about
this
to
is
own
it.
all
Like
this other stuff,
it's now TNA, GFW, Anthem, Impact Wrestling. It's like this is now getting silly. So I guess now that they're kind of leveled out again, they can get back to being good, which is cool. Have you got any plans currently for getting back there and doing some tapings or doing some matches?
I definitely have seen the new schedule. So while I'm home, I'll definitely be trying to slide through to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be sliding through some other companies as yet to be named.
Yeah. I won't ask you. You said you went there.
Just to see.
I'm not gonna make you feel bad.
Oh, nothing like that. Just to see what the opportunities are. But there's a ton of different opportunities out there, and my big thing is while I'm out here exploring the wild world of the indies, I'm just trying to find something that's a little bit of my own.
Yeah.
You know, and be able to get it, especially with so many opportunities. Like I think it means a ton right now, especially how open some of these contracts are, where you get to still work a lot of other indies while, you know, making a company your first priority.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think I got a lot to offer, so.
I would agree. I would agree.
Thanks.
So at what point did you decide you wanted to come over to our fair island and give it a crack? Like,
I've always wanted to come over anyway. A huge fan of World of Sport and just following for a long time. Like I follow everything. Like I'm still a fan at heart.
Yes.
It was just a matter of trying to figure out when, and then it actually got harder to get over here because now it's such a hotbed to be over here right now.
This is what I'm realizing. The more work I do for other countries, I'm absolutely honoured to be able to call work in Denmark. I've done some work for Italy. Even recently America as well. I've called a show for America in post.
Oh, you told me. Like it very.
It's kind of cool to see these different cultures, but it also then makes me appreciate how we're viewed. Like, I guess when you're in the bubble, you don't really see what it's like outside the bubble. But especially like in Denmark, for example, like they book some kind of they booked some of our guys to go over there. So they've had people like Ashley Dunn, Chris Tyler, Chris Brooks. Flash Morgan Webster.
Yep.
They like those guys going over, like, and the promoters even said just booking these guys gives them legitimacy. Like having one UK guy, all of a sudden, like a guy that we see week in week out, you put him on over there, and that's like them bringing in Hulk Hogan. Like it's insane how kind of respected and how hot everyone views us as. Like, so I guess I've potentially taken it for granted for a while, and now I've kind of realised that if these people had half the opportunity I've got right now, they wouldn't be bitching and moaning about not having the sleep and having
Y'all are the toast of the indie world.
This
right
is it.
now.
It's insane, and I think a lot of people over here need to realise how lucky they are because they're definitely taking it for granted.
Plus, you guys have a lot of roads now. Because I remember people were telling me how hard it was for British guys, like, to even get a shot at one point. Like, it was like a big deal if a British guy got a shot because it was so hard to see people get signed.
As in, like, over in like WWE and TNA and things like that. Yeah, true. I would agree.
But now y'all got your own NXT. You've got, like,
insane.
World of Sport.
Yeah.
The New Japan connections via Rev Pro. All sorts of good stuff. Like, Impact wants to start running again.
So at what point did it become a reality? Because I guess I've known a lot of people that would love to go to Japan, that would love to go to America, but it's not that. And I think in like Pete Dunne's case, he literally just got on a plane to Japan and winged it. Like he had no plan. He just went over there one day and was like, right, let's see if we can work in Japan. They took their gear and they just tried to go to shows and shake hands without speaking the language. So they really did chance it. So, but there's not many people that would do that without a plan, I guess. So, at what point did you think, fuck it, I'm going to get a plan together, I'm going to do this? Like,
especially after I quit and I knew I would quit my regular job. I knew I would have the time then.
Yeah.
So I just kind of looked into it to see what could come and started sending out feelers. And I know people get frustrated because like, oh, promoters don't respond back and they leave me on red and all this other stuff like that. You have to be, there's 3 P's in this. You have to be patient, you have to be persistent, but you also can't be a pest.
Yeah.
Because like once you hit that point of annoyance, they'll never hear you out again. But it's like you got to know when to just send your message. Let it be. If they don't say anything, fine. You just don't hear anything for a few months. That doesn't mean don't check back in. Because a lot of people just immediately put them on the shit list and then never try again.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't be in your feelings that hard,
In fact, just like last Sunday, I was at a charity show with 7 promotions coming together. One of which was a promotion I did message maybe a year, 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Be like, hey guys, I'm a commentator now. You should book me. Totally. They never even read it. They never even replied. Yeah, and I was like, oh, fuck those guys. And then I went to this show and they were there, and I met the promoters. I met one of the ring announcers. Absolutely lovely people. I like, it's probably just a case that Facebook didn't push it through because it thought I was being the pest. Like, they saw me copying and pasting the same message to everybody and was like, you know what? We're gonna put this guy back in his box because he's obviously annoying people now. So like, it kind of made me realise that, a lot of the time they might not listen to you, but at the same time they don't even know you. So like, sometimes the best thing to do is just to turn up and shake their hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
As far as it goes, that way they can put a name with a face and whatnot.
That's it. Yeah.
But
so you put who did you put the feelers out to? Like
Tidal and a few other, they were interested, but it was one of those cases where they wanted me to either figure out what was happening with the flight situation and all this other stuff like that, and it's like I still had to get that figured out. And then of course, since I was something of a newer commodity, there were people who really didn't want to take a chance because it was like, oh, it was what it was. Fortunately, I had a match with Too Cold Scorpio in Indiana that he was pretty pleased with, and he put me and got me connected with a few people, which made it possible for them to take care of my flight. So once I got out there, I was just like, hey, I'm going to be here from such and such date. Who wants to do business? So that made it a little easier because now it was like, oh, okay, well, he's already going to be out here now. Let's just throw him some dates and see what we can do. And I had to earn respect that February trip in order to work my way into some of the cooler bookings that I got now.
Yeah. So,
because I got like Rev Pro and Pro Wrestling Chaos and 3CW and places like that. And then based off of my performance of those, I worked my way into other bookings now this next trip that are going to be really nice and really good. Like for instance, it's a great feeling when you look back at a message and you message a promoter almost a year ago, and then you would message every 3 or 4 months, and then finally, they had to have paid attention because finally it's like, oh yeah, well I heard of you. It's like I wasn't worth a response at first.
Yeah.
And now,
all of a sudden now,
almost almost a year later, it's like, let's do it. And matter of fact, instead of just one show, let's book you for 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, cool. I couldn't ask for anything better than that.
So your February tour, you came over. Who do you remember who you worked back then and what it was like? And
you're talking about February?
Yeah. So
it was a lot. It was a lot of Hope Wrestling.
Cool. Yeah. They're kind of my second home.
Super Clash for WPW.
Yeah.
Title Wrestling, which got some of the craziest fans, and then PCW, which is the other set of crazy fans. I don't know. They definitely gave me a good start.
Yeah.
And then
am I right in thinking that up in Preston and Leeds and stuff? Am I right in thinking there's not as many promotions as there are, say, in London and the Midlands? Is that potentially why the fans are a bit more rabid because they know they're getting the product for their area rather than like for example in London there's one venue that's got a different promotion in it every week.
Sure.
It's crazy, I always told in music, if you're trying to make yourself a big deal, don't play the same places too often. If, for example, you're playing this place and you invite everyone along to go to this place, and they're like, I could go, but then if I miss it, it'll probably be back there next week, so they're not going to worry as much. Whereas if you don't go to the PCW show this weekend, you're going to have to wait a month to the next one. You're going to go and you're going to have a fucking whale of a time. Is it like that it's almost like they have to appreciate it?
Trying to think.
Is there a lot happening up there, or is it kind of, if you don't come to the show, you're going to be waiting a while?
Most of the guys that run, it's usually every month or every other month.
Yeah.
But they make sure, especially PCW and Title, they make sure that when they do run a show, they load it up.
Yep.
So it's worth you checking out. PCW always, especially, are big on over delivering. So they always try to just go that extra mile whenever they get ready to do something. But it's I couldn't have asked for some better promotions to start the journey off of and get noticed before things started to really, really, really take off and then turn into what we have now.
Yeah. What point? So I'm guessing when you came out, had you been over here before as a tourist to kind of visit, or it was
No, and the closest I came to probably being in Europe was like France or like Germany, but that was as a military brat.
Okay.
You know, so definitely not wrestling. Like before then, the next closest would be Ireland. For wrestling, I've done Ireland for 10 days.
Nice.
I did Japan for a week.
Nice.
Puerto Rico technically doesn't count because that's like an American Commonwealth.
Yeah, I didn't know that until a few months ago. I think you told me, I was like, okay. Like, I had no idea. Like, I thought because they've got their own flag and stuff. I was like, okay, so they're their own thing, right? But apparently
American
not.
Commonwealth.
Okay.
And then those were the main ones that. Oh, in Canada, of course. I keep forgetting Canada. Canada, America Junior.
Yeah.
we keep having those little things going and whatnot. So like, yeah, as far as it goes. So, like, I don't know if y'all put commercial spots or anything in here or anything like that. This would probably be a good time to put a pause in it real quick. I don't mind. I'm breaking the fourth wall. I have to pee. You know, like I've been laying here as far as it goes.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna pee real quick, and he's probably gonna put like a convenient stop in there.
I might just tell everyone where I'm gonna be.
Oh, dude, this is perfect. This is perfect advertising time. As far as it goes. You know how Colt Cabana has that little bit where he tells. Except you're doing it in the middle.
We got no sponsorships. We got nothing. We got nothing to push.
So just push yourself.
I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna talk so loud that it's not gonna pick up you peeing.
I will be right back.
No worries.
They better not hear me.
I'll talk loud. So everybody, actually, I don't even know how much has he had to drink. I mean, he could be there a while. So at time of recording, I'm not going to talk about today's show, tomorrow's show, or Monday's show. So I'm going to have a look forward. 1st of September, Wrestling League. I'm presuming that's in Harwich. That is going to be, it's almost like a war game starting. I think they're doing 2 rings. It's going to be a little bit crazy. That's going to be fun. 2nd of September, Sacrifice Pro Wrestling, Leighton Buzzard. I'm coming home, mama. That's going to be an awesome show. Then I've actually got a few weeks off, which is going to be nice because I haven't had those for a while. 21st of September, Friday, is going to be Future. That's up north. At this point, I don't know if it's Mansfield, Sheffield, or Sutton, or somewhere else. But that's going to be cool as well. A lot of fun stuff happening up in Future. Monday, the 24th of September, Exposure Wrestling doing Coyote Nitro. I cannot tell you how much fun these fucking shows are. I've done one. They had a lot of barmaids dancing on the bar. It was insane. They put a lot of effort into their front of house, let's put it that way. 29th of September, Saturday, is DOA. Hopefully it's going to be at the GER Sports Club in March. That's what's in my calendar. Hopefully I've got those right. Then we are looking at the 7th of October, which is Sacrifice again. I'm going to push Brett. I'm going to push World War Wrestling, which is going to be October 14th. I'm not working it, but I'm going to be there to support Brett because he's an absolute babe. And then we've got Hope Future on the 20th of October again. Before we have I've got another big weekend end of October. 27th DOA, 28th we're doing Exposure in Newport, South Wales, before going back to Cardiff for Coyote Nitro on the 29th of October. And we've got some stuff happening. Actually, I'm going to push as well. 4th of November, I make my debut at Lone Wolf Wrestling in Harrogate. I wanted to get up north for a long time. I'm finally cracking the northern Yorkshire lands, which is something I've been wanting to do forever. Hopefully some of my family will be able to get to that show. I am very, very happy with that one. Shug, how was the wee? You look relieved. I think I talked loud enough as well.
Yes. All is well.
So when you came over, let's reset. When you came over for the first time, were you planning a second trip, or was it like give it one shot and then we'll see how it?
Yeah, like you can plan all you want, but it's like if they weren't feeling me or they weren't liking my stuff, like that was gonna get cut short very quickly. So like fortunately, everything came together and they were feeling me and. My energy was very well received and it's been received very strongly as well this next go around too. So like now we find ourselves into a third one that'll happen November and December.
So when you came over, so you first of February.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you over in February? Was it
just a month?
Just a month.
Mm-hmm.
So then you came back in. How long have you been here now?
3 months.
Wow. So literally you've gone from like. So I'm guessing it's 3 months the limit of your visa over here that you can.
No, I could have stayed longer.
Oh, cool, okay. So is it just a case that you kind of gave it 3 months and?
Like it just seemed like a good time to do 3 months.
Fair.
You know, like I figured if I was really gonna go for it, let's go for it. and see what comes together. And like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like, it came together.
And you're coming back for November and December?
That's correct. It was going to be half of December, but then, things change, situations change.
You are in demand. You're in demand.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, which is good. Like, people, you can say in demand, or more like, people are open to using me. I'm just happy.
I'd say you're in demand. Otherwise, if you weren't, they wouldn't want to book you. They'd be like, "Cool, go home." Like,
fair.
See, I'd put it that way.
Fair.
I'll put you over. I'll put you over.
You're right. I am in demand. I am in demand. Damn
Yeah,
it. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I offer something. But like, the thing is, it's just every time I get ready to come over here, I want it to be one of those cases where, I'm like, something new is happening. Like, I'm able to dive into something new. It's something bigger than the last time before. That's why I said, like, it's new opportunities, it's new things coming up. And I know the goals that I have for myself that I'm trying to get done. We were talking about it in private, but it's like, I'm almost sad because, today is the first of a 2-day DOA doubleheader. Yeah. And, it's not that I'm not excited to go home. It's just, it sucks being in a situation where you come to a country where people barely know you like that, and it's like, you are living your dream in a way you never thought that you were going to be able to live it. Like, you're making good money. Yep. You're traveling a good little bit. You're meeting great people. Your skills are growing. The training opportunities at PCW to be able to kind of share what you've learned and how you're doing it and try to help others and whatnot. And it's not that I don't appreciate what we have at home, and I've got some good bookings to look forward to and whatnot. I just feel like there's so much more that I could offer, and there's so much more that I can do. As in back home. Yeah. And I just don't think, I don't know if it's just I've been there so long that they don't see it, or what's going on. And I know what's gonna happen. Like, I'll joke around that my Facebook timeline is like 2 different timelines now. Yeah. There's UK Facebook timeline, and then there's home timeline. So like, it doesn't matter what time of day I check it, there's always something going on. Yeah. And I feel like I'm gonna be looking over there, looking at it the next 2 months, and just seeing all the cool stuff happening. It's like, damn, I can't wait to get back to that. It's like, versus when I'm looking at the American one, it's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. But it's like, I never feel like I'm missing anything because I'm making my own niche out here. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I just want to be in that position where I'm able to really snatch that big thing that's for me. Yep. And then when I get it, I'll find that next bigger thing that's for me and that next one. But it just seems like all the excitement and ability to be able to make that happen, as crazy as it sounds, just seems like it's more capable here than it is at home. And I want to be wrong. Like, I'm going on record. I want to be wrong. Yeah. Make me wrong, America. But you never know. I wouldn't be surprised if you get off the plane and there's like a fucking greeting party there. Everyone's got banners saying "Welcome back, Sugar." Like, hero come back. I want to see it happen. I want to see that happen. Not happen. Fuck it. I'm gonna fly out 20 minutes before you. I'm gonna just spread banners around. And it's the Sugar Dunkerton returning day. Yeah, homecoming party. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Yeah. As far as it goes, like just have my Nando's waiting when I come back to UK. Now in America they don't care. We'll keep it warm for you. America they don't care. It's gonna be the best I can expect is my warm bed, hopefully, and some bills. And but they'll be paid. They'll be paid bills though. So have you? Back at home, I guess. Are you got your own place? Are you living with family or friends? I live alone. So you're technically still paying rent while you're out here, right? Absolutely. But that's a testament to how good the money is out here, because it's like I can still handle my American affairs and still have money for Super Dry. Yeah. Super Dry, only one of the greatest clothing brands that's ever been done. I know Super Dry says they don't do sponsors, but if they ever needed a sponsor, look at that Super Dry. The hoodie I've been wearing all day is Super Dry. Oh my God! And this shirt that I'm wearing right now, and these pants, and this belt, Super Dry, Super Dry, Super Dry. Oh my God! It's just so good.
my little brother is like a super dry. Like I'm pretty sure he's keeping them in business.
Yeah.
If he has anything he doesn't want anymore, I'll let you know. I'll keep it aside for you.
Hey, if you see some medium stuff, like let me know. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
think you're about the
saying,
same size as my bro.
like I know Superdry doesn't do sponsorships. I know this, but you need to change that. Okay, because I'm your guy. I'm the guy to make it happen as far as it goes. Like you thought you were doing well before. Please, just let me get that. It's like one of my new nicknames even is the Superdry Superfly. That's who I am. You know, like I just show up and stuff like that. If nothing else, at least sponsor me a pair of gear. Sponsor me some gear. Well, 2 pairs of gear.
Throw some stuff. One to wear, one to wash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. We will. We should maybe do like a little shout out to them, a little Instagram shout out to them. Go tagging them in it.
I've been tagging them in all sorts of stuff. Like you know, they're gonna get tired of me, but I hope it turns into one of those cases where it's like
patience, persistence.
True.
Don't be a pest.
True. But it's like, dude, like y'all need to make this happen.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to make y'all money, and I'm trying to get my share of money too. Like, let's get it done.
So we're on the EV with you flying home. You're coming back in a few months. What are you wanting to achieve in November, December? Like what are your, like you say, you always want to have new goals. What have you got for November, December? What do you want to get out of your
bigger
your
promotions?
So you want to be Progress, ICW,
things of that nature. Yeah, you know, ICW, at least a shot.
You're already in RevPro. So to me, I would say like Progress, ICW are probably the 2 biggest based on the venues they're able to perform in safely. Like, you know, Progress doing Wembley, ICW have done the Hydro, which is a big deal. Ireland has got OTT. I'd probably say they're pretty big over there. From what I gather, Fight Club are doing pretty well. I don't know enough about Fight Club though. And RevPro, they're like the 5 big ones as far as I'm concerned over here. Like, as far as and so many people have had this conversation with me. I have a tier system where I think that these people are above these people who are above these people. There's like, I've seen that it's like football leagues and stuff. Like, you know, you kind of go up in the leagues. The bigger you get, the bigger your crowds, the bigger your cards. Those 5 are like the giants right now, as far as I'm concerned. So you've already cracked a few. Like, you're already in there with RevPro. Which I'd say is a pretty big deal. Is there any promotions that you really want to work for, like you really want to get the bookings with?
Of course, like Progress, if I can get it. I'd love to be able to work myself into a way like ultimate goal, in all honesty, and I know this sounds crazy, but maybe saying it out loud will count for accountability. I would love to be able to work myself into a point where I'm so popular and I'm so justified in my work that I would get invited to do an NXT UK Championship tournament spot.
That would be insane.
Yeah, and I think that's a hell of a story, like, to go along with it too. It's like, you're from where? And it's like, yep. And you're competing in what? Yep.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah.
Well, like, no one complained about Travis Banks doing it because, you know, he's kind of been adopted by
Kiwi.
the scene. Yeah. This is it. So, and I think Drew Gulak did it, but he's been over here a whole heap of times. Yeah, I don't think that's impossible. I think you could do it. You're obviously putting the effort in, and you're making it known that you want to be part of the scene over here. You want to be part of the family, and from what I gather, everyone's like taking you in. They're opening their doors, and
I've just gained so much extended family with the posh accents. Furthermore, if we were talking about goals for myself, I'd like to be able to do more middle country stuff, like more London, more black country, because like those are the ones where there's a lot of those companies there that are kind of like the word I guess we're looking for is they're like the big super indie companies where it's like, you know, like, we came here to work, man. They came for stiff, like stuff like that. And it's like I like to look at myself as a bit of a total performer. I can have fun and all this other stuff like that, but you know, when it's time to get down, I can get down.
I watched that match with you and Ace Austin.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
oh, okay. All right,
I watched that. His little match, is it a wand that he just pulled out of nowhere? That blew my mind.
Yeah, he does magic.
I was like, because I love magic. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge fan of magic. And I saw that, I was like, wow, I could be invested in this guy.
He'll do card tricks and all this other stuff sometimes in the ring.
I dig it. Yeah, I like that.
And it's like, I'm getting more opportunities here and there. Like there's people that'll bring me in, and it's like, okay, well, we hear he's fun, so let's bring him in to do this. But I'm slowly starting to see people who are like, okay, let's put him in a match and see what he does.
Yeah. But it's the thing, you almost use your personality and charisma and the fact that you're not too serious to kind of get your foot in the door, and then once people are paying attention to you, kind of look at Grado. Grado is a fine example of that. Like he was a big comedy guy, and he just did like funny vignettes and stuff. And all of a sudden they throw him in matches, and people are invested in the matches. He's getting his ass beat, and everyone's like, "No, we want to still cheer for this guy. Like he might be funny, but we're now getting to see him fight." It's so many people have done it, and it works. Like if you come over all super serious, no one's going to be like, "That's a guy I want to get to know," because they're like, "Oh man, he's all like just walking around all quiet and boring." They want personality, and they get invested in your personality, and then now they're on your side. Now you go into a fight and they care about you. I'd say that makes perfect sense.
There you have it.
Psychologically speaking, I'm on board with that theory.
Plus, I just want people to care.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a lot of good wrestlers on a technical level. Just people don't care.
I saw the photo of you in at PCW. You did was it an outdoor show you did? And you were on like the city wall, and like everyone was like singing along with you for 10 minutes.
That was sweet.
That blew my mind. Like I can only imagine what was happening.
That was like my WrestleMania entrance for the year as far as it goes, because it's like where